Trump can't help himself because even though he should be embarrassed that he keeps bragging about passing the easiest cognitive test known to mankind, he just keeps doing it. He keeps bragging about it. And there's a recent example where he brags about the fact that he can remember 5 words in a row. Let's take a look.
Like you'll go person, woman, man, camera, TV. So they say, could you repeat that? So I said, yeah. So it's person, woman, man, camera, TV. Okay, that's very good. If you get it in order, you get extra points. Okay, now he's asking you other questions. And then 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes later, they say, remember the first question? Not the first, but the 10th question? Give us that again. Can you do that again? And you go person, woman, man, camera, TV. If you get it in order, you get extra points.
Okay, so I'm just gonna skip ahead and go to the next clip because he continues talking about it. And my reaction to this might shock you, so stick around and let's watch this next clip.
Okay, all right.
If you repeat them out of order, it's okay, but it's not as good. But then when you go back about 20, 25 minutes later and they say, go back to that question, they don't tell you this. Go back to that question and repeat them. Can you do it? And you go, person, woman, man, camera, TV. They say, that's amazing. How did you do that? I do it because I have like a good memory, because I'm cognitively there.
So look, if I were Trump, I would not talk about this. It's not good, it's very bad. But look, I'm in my 30s. But I also acknowledge that I partake in the devil's lettuce here and there, meaning every night after work to stay sane for obvious reasons. So in my 70s, would I think that would I be proud of myself for passing that memory test? Especially if I'm asked 25 minutes later to recall those 5 words again in that order. I don't know if I'd be proud of myself, but yeah, I guess maybe it's a little challenging. I mean, I don't know. Look, honestly, Cenk, I don't care. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it for you. I'm gonna say it for the audience. I just don't care.
No,
I don't care.
I do. Look, there's a reason why coronavirus cases spiked here, and they didn't in Europe or New Zealand, and so many South Korea, Taiwan, even Turkey. It's because we have an idiot in charge. And Anna,
everyone knows. Everyone knows.
No,
so are we going to talk about every single time he brags about passing the cognitive test? Because we have.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
He's a moron. Like, how much more evidence do we need to provide? Everyone knows. Our audience knows.
A lot more. So let me explain why, and then I'll get to how stupid he is. Okay.
Okay.
Because his poll numbers dropped fairly dramatically after he said you should inject bleach to fight coronavirus, because people really didn't know that he was that dumb. And for the layman, like, they might get confused about jumbo loans and what they're doing with the PPP and etc. But they get that you're not supposed to drink bleach, right? And that a dummy would say that. And they get that saying 5 words in a row is not the most complicated thing in the world. And so these type of moments to you seem like the most obvious thing in the world because you're forced to cover this buffoon every day. But for people that are casually watching the news and barely care about politics, this is the thing that gets their attention the most. Like, really? He bragged about saying 5 words in a row, right? And for that might be the very first time they realize that he's not a successful businessman. Like, they probably have never heard that he had 6 bankruptcies because the media almost never covers it. And so this will be like, really? Now, when you're talking about the test itself, I want to bifurcate it. So I did it myself, and I did it the right way in this particular analogy. And I get it, like, keeping them in order is not easy, especially 10 or 20 minutes later, especially if you didn't get a warning. Like, I had to put visuals to each word to make sure that I remember them. So I'm not going, ha ha, if you can't get it right, or especially in your 70s, etc. And it's actually a little harder than Donald Trump's example there. In order to remember for the interview, he clearly did it based on what was there. He's like person, woman, man, camera, TV, right? Okay, but they're not about in the real test. They're not about the same topics on purpose. So the real test, for example, has face, velvet, church, daisy, red, right? So I understand all that, and we're fair about it. But you cannot brag about getting 5 words that were just told to you, like repeating them and getting that correct. You can't brag about that. You can't say that that's incredibly difficult. And the doctor said, that's amazing. They were shocked by that. No, they're not shocked by that. That's very normal, right? Some people might not get it, but it's not like if somebody gets it, they're like, how did you do that? It's not E equals MC squared. It's person, woman, man, camera, TV. Okay, so no, you've got to point out the buffoonery. And then finally, when he says, it's because I have a really good memory and I'm cognitively there. No, we can't have the president of the United States bragging about being cognitively there. Just come on. So maybe that'll be our next shirt. We have Very Stable Genius at shoptyt.com, one of our best-selling shirts ever. Maybe we'll put cognitively. Well, you know what we do? Cognitively here. Maybe we'll do it for one of our masks. You know how we have the social distancing mask, right? Shoptyt.com. In fact, this is our best-selling one. You get an exception if you could read it on camera here, because you're not in the room with me. Anyways, but it'll say, a new one could say cognitively here. So Anna, I'm gonna cover it every time. Great, the guy's a grade 8 dummy, and he doesn't realize how dumb he is. And yes, I love pointing it out.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.